Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I visited my friends today at Tropical Lagoon Aquarium. They were kind enough to let me film a little inside. Really didn't film too much because I was shopping for myself today. So I got a couple updates for you. Let me see if I can get the salmon hap in here. I think she's hiding again. I'm still trying to get a good shot of that growth with her. With the eggs in her mouth, but I definitely can tell that they are developing eggs this time, and she's hiding quite a bit, so that would definitely that would explain why. I'd want to keep my babies safe too. So let's take a quick look at the tank, and then we'll talk about a couple other things, and then I might post a short video from my store visit earlier today, and if I do, please like, subscribe, let me know if you guys want me to go back and post a more in-depth video. The guys over there are very friendly, and they said they were all for being on YouTube, so let me know. Anyways, let's take a quick look at the fish here, and we'll do a little feeding real quick, and then I'll talk to you about a couple things I got today. Oh yeah, that's right. There's two new fish that I got today. So there's one little guy over there. He's new. So that's a blue and yellow Tanzania half cichlid. And then my other guy is hiding over there. Sorry, I can't remember exactly which one he is, but he's a Petrochromis of sorts, but he's going to be really pretty. Oh, there's the salmon hap. Let's see if we can get a good shot of her here. There we go. You see, look at the pulsing. And then maybe if I can get it, we'll see if I can see the eyes like I saw earlier. I don't think she's going to open her mouth. She didn't do it much, but I'm glad I was able to get her on camera for you guys finally. But she's definitely holding. It's been about 12, 13 days now, I guess. But everybody in this tank is doing really well, as you can see. I mean, obviously it just speaks a little to how well this tank is doing if I got fish that want to breed in here, and they're not even fully mature yet, the majority of them. So this Eureka really decided. I'm pretty sure he's tank boss right now. Star Sapphire, I think, is number 2 right now. And the blue dolphin is really, he's been going in and out of being really dark cobalt blue to that electric that you just saw. I think those are the top 3 fish. And I think the Neri cichlid, I don't see him right now. He's somewhere toward the back probably. But I think he kind of lost his ranking. I'm pretty sure he was tank boss before the shakeup and a couple new fish. I don't foresee much change happening with these 2 newer fish that came in here in terms of who's tank boss right now. Mostly just because they are a little bit smaller than the other fish that are in here right now. So that's what's going on in the 140. Let's take a quick look at the 112. Here we go. 112 is doing well as well. Mr. Chug just living his best life, being a sexy rainbow fish that he is. Let's move this light up so we can get a little better view of everybody. Look how beautiful he is. Clown loaches, everybody's doing well. This guy is really starting to color up in here. Glad to see, because he got some points in the last few days on his fins, and he's starting to color up. I really think that this is a midnight peacock hap, and if it is, I'm going to be pretty happy about that. We'll just have to see how he continues to develop, because this is kind of a PetSmart, Petco special type fish. So it could be a hybrid. Hopefully not though. But everybody is doing really well in this tank, and I'm going to do a little feeding here. Probably not going to include that in the video today. But we can talk about that more in depth. I know in the last video I kind of went into the feeding of all my cichlids and talked a little bit about their diet. If you would like me to do some more in depth on that, please let me know in the comments below. And let's talk about some of what I picked up today besides the fish at the store. So, as you all know, picked up these 2 sumps on Marketplace. Was looking for some overflow boxes because I don't want to drill my tanks because they're already set up. However, I got a great deal on something today. So the pump that came with this eShop sump was 750 gallons an hour, and this is the eShop's PF 800. Came with everything. The other portion of the overflow box is down in here. Let me show you guys real quick. So there's the wear for the front and the siphon. Now, here's the thing about this. I got a good deal on this. It's brand new, but I did not pay full price because it was not in the original packaging. It turns out somebody bought it to their house from the guys at Tropical Lagoon Aquarium, and they returned it because I guess either it was the wrong size or something, but it was never used, and they just didn't return it with the box. There's the Nary cichlid. So he's still really colored up. I think he's up there in the ranks, but I just don't think he's Tank Boss right now. Anyways, so that eShop's overflow goes for about 150 to 180 bucks, depending upon what site you get it on offline, and it's probably closer to the top end of that in the store. And I ended up getting a brand new one for $100 because it was an open box return. So I think tomorrow I have one last day of vacation before I have to go back to my real job. I am a chef by trade. But anyways, I think tomorrow I might go get some tubing and maybe I'll work on setting it up. I know originally I said this bigger sump was going to go under the cube. But since this all matches here, I'm thinking because I have the FX6 already down here underneath the cube tank, I think what I want to do is put this smaller sump here, this eShop's one, on here and put it underneath here. And then this bigger sump is still going to fit underneath here. This bigger sump is 16 inches wide. This cabinet is 19 inches, 20 inches, about, I think it's 20 actually. It's either 19 and a half or 20 and a quarter. I measured it once, don't quite remember. But anyways, I think the idea would be to put the bigger sump down here and search for a higher outlet because I need to do some cleanup down here first off. And there is definitely plenty of space to put that larger sump down here. I mean, this is a 15-inch wine box in here, so there's more than enough room in here for anybody that was curious about that. But I think the idea for that would be to put that there, and excuse my camera work, I'm trying to do something real quick. Anyways, the idea would be to get these two Hob filters off the back of here. Now, they do a great job, but you know, I eventually wanted to either put both sumps on the 140 and move the hang-on backs out for a breeding project. But I think this might be a better way to do it. I can keep the FX6 over here on the 140 cube. Sorry, it's just the refraction of the light. It looks cloudy from a distance, but it's really not. Anyways, you know, then I can keep the FX6 on this tank for polishing, and I can just put one big sump with higher output on the smaller tank, and that'll be more than sufficient for biological and for polishing, as long as I set it up the right way for that, which would not be too hard to do. So I think this smaller sump here, which is still, I believe it's a 27-gallon sump and the larger is 33, is more than sufficient because really all I want to do is get all my biological filtration into my sump. And then once that's fully established in the sump over here, turn the FX6 basically into one big polishing filter so that, you know, I get even better water quality than I have now. But I mean, as you can see, my water is already really, really crystal clear. But, you know, I'm all about giving the fish everything they need and more. Because as these fish grow, it's going to be very important. I mean, the tank's already overfiltrated. It's a 140-gallon tank with an FX6 that's rated for up to 400 gallons. But one thing you have to remember with these African cichlids is that, you know, you want an exponential amount more of filtration than what is recommended, because they get big. They're gonna poop a lot. They're gonna create a lot of ammonia, and really to create the most stable environment for them, overfiltration is really key, especially if you decide that you want to overstock a tank a little bit to curtail aggression. Now, do I think this tank is overstocked right now? Absolutely not. Do I think it's going to be overstocked when all these fish are full grown? It's borderline. There's probably about 25 fish. I'm sorry, I'd have to do like a hard count. It's been a while because I've added a few fish here and there the last few weeks. But all these fish, mind you, like there's only a couple in here that are going to be less than hand sized. The rest of them are going to be at least the size of your hand, or closer to that 10 to 14 inch range. Overfiltration really key. As you can see, I have all this surface agitation here from the FX and from a power head that's down in there. I have it pointed upward. You see all of that surface agitation coming along the top right here. So that FX6 is rated for about 1,000 gallons an hour. I believe it's 975. The way I have it set up right now, I would say it's probably flowing about 700 gallons an hour. And this power head is 1,475 gallons an hour. So that being said, this tank has more than enough filtration right now. But again, I just want to put the sump on there, overfiltrate, get a little more polishing going on, because I do plan on keeping these fish in here for at least a few more months. I know I said that I was going to get a bigger tank, and I will. I'm just searching for the right deal right now, because I'm looking for something 240 to 300 gallons. Do I want to do a bigger tank than that eventually? Absolutely, but not while I'm in this apartment. I have concrete floors and all, but I just really don't want to go above 300 gallons while I'm in an apartment. That being said, I think I'm getting a little winded on this video, and I will leave you guys until the next video. So please like, subscribe, and help me continue to grow these fish and watch them grow with me. And thank you guys. Have a good evening.